One of my favorite things is when people go, "No, he won't react to that." Hey everybody, my name is Old School Nerd. Check us out on oldschoolnerd.com. It's got all the social media posts, the Patreon link for those who want to help support the channel. We appreciate every single one of you, and the merchandise store. Okay, so sometimes this stuff kind of happens. You go out to lunch with your family, and you're going out to hibachi, and you know how when you go to hibachi, you're like, there's other people that you don't know, but they're sitting at your table, so you can't help but talk to them, right? So Chelsea's sitting next to me, Caroline's there. You know, we're ordering our food. And there are these two sisters, right? And they each have two of their children with them. And I'm sitting next to Mika's, by the way, their names are Mika and Myra, by the way. So I'm sitting next to to one of the sisters' kids, two boys. And they look so much alike. Their mannerisms are so identical. I'm like, hey, are they twins? And the moms are like, no, but we are. And I'm like, oh my God. These two lovely ladies look exactly alike. So to Mika and Myra, to both of them, Mika and Myra, yeah, okay. The two super moms from New Iberia, right here in South Louisiana, this one is for you. I asked their boys, I asked the two boys sitting next to me, the two young gentlemen, I was like, what's your favorite songs? One of them couldn't come up with one. And the other one was way too cool to talk to a guy from YouTube. So good luck, bro. But their mom was like, I can tell you what my favorite song is. What's your favorite song? She goes, Muni Long's Hours and Hours. And I was like, really? And she's like, yeah. I was like, okay, what are you doing in about an hour and a half? And she goes, I said, find my channel. I don't think she thought I was serious. I think she caught on. I'm always serious when I'm not joking. All right, so here we go. I've never heard a song by Muni Long. And I know what a lot of you out there are thinking to yourselves, Old School, don't you normally react to rock and metal and like loud stuff? Yeah. But many of you know that for me, folk music, jazz, blues, R&B, and funk are the things that I grew up with as a child. Growing up, I listened to B.B. King, Bobby Blue Bland, Etta James, Aretha Franklin, Earth, Wind, and Fire. Okay, and then as I got a little into my teenage years, started getting into some P-Funk, Parliament Funkadelic, George Clinton. It went on and on and on. And of course, sprinkled in there was like some Creedence Clearwater Revival, a little bit of metal, a little bit of rock. And then as I become an adult, I start to appreciate all forms of music. Now, do I like the realm of hip hop and R&B right now? Not in the last few years. It's gotten a little bit too wow. You know, Cardi B, Megan Thee Stallion, I get it. They are powerful women and their songs are powerful, but they're a little, they're not exactly telling a story, right? Like Steve Harvey says, okay, he remembers when old school was cool. Old school music used to tell a story. Old school music used to speak to your heart. So I looked up Muni Long, and she's all like HER. You know her? Where she's always telling stories, telling romantic stories, powerful soul stories. That's what I love. So here we go. This is my first reaction to Muni Long's Hours and Hours. Now, what I did is I could have pulled the original video, but I thought, you know what? I'm a big fan of live performances. And I'm one of those people that will go to the Zydeco and Blues Festival and listen to local Zydeco bands, but sit back and relax and listen to some blues because it's live and you can feel it. So if you're going to check out an amazing soul vocalist, got to catch that live performance. Here's her live performance she did live on Amazon Music a while back. I think it was like a couple days ago, maybe last week. All right, so we're going to check that out together. To the twin duo supermoms from New Iberia, Mika and Myra, this one's for you. Crank it up.
sing to you.
Yes, you can.
Yours, mine, ours. I could do this for hours. Sit and talk to you for hours. I wanna give you your flowers and some champagne showers, or the shrimp and lobster towers. But it's me that gets devoured. Oh, when you do what you do, I'm empowered. You give me a superpower. Together the world will be ours. You set me up on the counter. Instantly it's thunder showers. Storming for a couple hours. When we finish, take a shower. I could do this for hours and hours and hours. I could do this for hours and hours.
Okay, I just want to get everyone to understand the level of vocal prowess that you're listening to. There's a certain way that she glides, and it's not. There are people that can step through different tones. She's sliding into these tones, and when she drops her embouchure and she drops down into that lower register, and you hear how rich her voice is. At the beginning of this song, I started to think to myself, okay, her voice is a little nasally, a little light, like there wasn't a lot of power there. And I thought, okay, a lot of modern vocalists don't have that power. Like when you hear, you think about Whitney Houston and Mariah Carey and Lauryn Hill, okay, where it's all about the power in their different respects. But then she dropped that register, and that little wispy, nasally sound, that little light, seemed like she was just kind of floating, then suddenly became this rich tone, and you're like, wait a minute, where are you taking me right now? Not only can she do this for hours and hours, she can go anywhere you can imagine. So I'm impressed. Vocally, it is masterful. By the way, kudos and props to the backing band. Guy on the bass got his sunglasses on. It is the middle of the night. And that goes to show you, it's the truth of this statement remains the same. When you're cool, the sun shines on you 24 hours a day. So even though it's dead in the middle of the night, this dude's got sunglasses on like he's in the pocket. She's got a sax player. Really? And the guitar is perfectly set. It's just that little echoed tone. So that her vocals lead that melody, but it's supported by the guitar perfectly because it's such a subtle tone, and all it's doing is doing that offbeat strum to where all it's doing is giving that little groove. And when the backing music gives her that groove, she can slide in and out of different vocal registers. It is perfectly done. Oh, and that's the first minute. We still got 2 more to go.
I could do this for hours and hours and hours. I could do this for hours and hours. Usually don't like nobody, and when I say nobody, I mean nobody. All these niggas full of shit. You just to hold me once they hit. Felt like giving up on love. These niggas almost made me quit. Then I met you. When I met you, I knew this is it. Never been in love like this. Oh.
Anytime somebody says, I've never been in love like this, and they say it with such passion and realism, you start realizing that, okay, you need to pay attention to 2 things right here. Every time she drops into that lower register, she has my complete attention. Because you have so many people out there, they're belting up high, they're popping up high, but some of my favorite stuff is, one of my favorite things of all time is the sound of a Lauryn Hill or an Aretha Franklin. When they get down in their lower registers, you have to pay attention to what they're saying. And here's the thing. I would challenge you to listen to this song. Listen to it, okay? Go back, read the lyrics. She's telling you she's talking real smack. Like she's telling people straight up, this is how it is. She starts off with this soft rendition about, it's kind of a sexual innuendo, a little bit of a pull into a romantic vibe she's throwing out. But then in the second verse, she's putting truth down to her words that set her above whatever you think about her. See what I'm saying? Like what she's saying right now, it's if you're fake, if you're going to come off and you're not being real to me, if you're not speaking from the heart, if you don't put actions to your words, I'm not hearing you. I'm moving on. I don't want any piece of it. Now, her words she's using, very harsh. Now, some people, the choice of words she's using, you don't care for it. It's not my thing. Not a fan of it. However, if you're trying to speak to people and she's trying to speak to someone that she's personally involved with and she's calling them out, as she says, for that shit, their shit, that's it. And she puts it down in terms that are undeniable. You can't argue against her. That is a real story. That is true storytelling. And that's something we miss a lot. I'm tired of hooks. I'm tired of little tags. I'm tired of music being all about what sounds good on TikTok. Right here, when you tell from your heart and you have that experience where you can go up to someone and say, this is all that I offer you. You don't want it? Fine. And then she tells how many different ways you can just go ahead and step off. That is awesome. Hello, McAfee. Speaking of things that need to step off, screw yourself, McAfee. Is it just me or does this guy look like CeeLo Green? A little bit. If he played the saxophone. Maybe? I love that last note. Okay, wait. I know we're to the end, but okay, this song here, okay, what she's singing, the story she's telling is on multiple portions of your life, okay? Now, she's saying things that as adults, things that we talk about in an adult relationship, making love, laying down, all these other things. But she's also tagging those things of when you first fall in love. You remember when you were a kid and you were in high school and you fell into that puppy love, or the first time you fell for somebody and you had your first girlfriend, boyfriend, significant other, and you remember those times when you just sit on the phone and you talk for hours, or you'd be outside sitting on a swing or on a park bench, you just talk and talk and talk. Next thing you know, you're in trouble with your mom, your grandma, your dad, because you've been out there for hours. It's that first initial love. It's that untainted affection that we have when we're young, that we strive to find when we're adults. She's offering that to the man or person in her life that she wants to have that with as an adult. That pure love, that pure affection that you first have when you were a young teenager, or your first time you find that relationship when talking for hours was so common, it enraptured you. And then as adults, we don't talk enough. We don't, you know, you hear these relationships where you see these, you ever seen the couples you run into and you can't stand them because they look like they're still in love and they're in their 50s and you're like, what? And then the husband or the wife or one of them will say, well, we never stopped dating. I never stopped pursuing her. I never stopped pursuing him. And we could just sit there and talk all day. That's what she's talking about. Okay? It's something real. It's something true. Okay? So she offers it in the beginning. Second verse, she tells and puts the person in place or puts them out of her picture because they don't meet that level of what she's talking about. Then when she gets to that groove section and she gets into the reprisal chorus, she's just laying it out like this is how it needs to be for all of us. It is. Props to the backing band. The drummer, love the pocket he's playing in. I do love the syncopated rhythms within the tom section. The guitarist is outstanding in the way he's supporting. He's allowing the piano to lead the melody because it really is where your melody sits in here. Accents from the sax player. He's putting in those perfect funk jazz accents. Love me some jazz bass rhythm section. The bass and drummer are in the pocket, but she just blows me away. It's my first time checking out Miss Long, and here's the thing. I could probably listen to this song for hours and hours. I could probably listen to the different things she does as well. She appears to be, this is my first song checking out from her, but she appears to me to be the kind of person that could literally belt high. She could go into this mezzo, soprano. She could sit in that power alto if she wants to, but she also has the ability to drop into that lower register, and she does it effortlessly. But for this song, because she's speaking from the heart, there's no reason to be doing all this belting and popping and all these little runs. She doesn't need to do it. Why? It's not the story she's trying to tell you. She's trying to be intimate with you. She's not trying to scream at you and tell you what's up. She's trying to bring you in. She's trying to be personal, and that's what she's doing here. This is outstanding. So to Miss Mika and Miss Myra, thank you so much. The dynamic twins, super moms from New Iberia that I met having hibachi. My name is Old School Nerd. We just spoke. I told you to look out for my reaction. Be about an hour and a half, and here we are. So thank you for sharing this with me because I really love this song. I really love it. Now I got to send. I got to let Leo Maracchioli in Norway realize it so he can do a metal cover of it. I'm kidding. I don't want this song messed up in any way. No, this is too pure. God, I miss pure music, right? Where artists just go up there and tell a story, something real, not something just poppy and, you know, trying to cause a scene. No, this is real stuff. My name is Old School Nerd. Thank you for coming in.